What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to another episode of the Too Savage for Democrats show. I'm your host, Dylan, and we've got a fantastic show coming for you guys today. Just a ton of topics to talk about. We're going to go talk about some of the, Ryan Lochte. Apparently the Brazilian government thinks that Ryan Lochte was lying about this whole thief or getting robbed, getting his wallet stolen thing. Apparently there's some evidence showing that he did lie about it. It's just a lot of stuff going on there. We got some politics to jump into. We're going to talk about just all kinds of different stories today on the program. So hope you stay tuned, and let's just get right into it. So the media will have you believe that Donald Trump is done with the election. We kind of covered this in the first episode where we spoke about how the media wants to lie to you and try to convince you that the election's over. They want you to believe that the election's over so that people stay home, because Hillary Clinton cannot pull the same audience. She can't get the same crowd of people to come vote that Obama could. Obama pulled in a lot of voters. Obama got a lot of voters, people who hadn't voted before, come out and vote for him. He's getting a lot of voters. Hillary Clinton can't do that because she is not a charming person. She's not a likable person. So she's going to have a very, very, very hard time trying to get some new voters riled up. And so what the media is doing and what the Democrats are trying to do in general is keep the Republican voter count down. So that's why you see CNN pulling out all these, again, like there's 5 out of all the Republicans who don't support Trump. They put one on each night. It looks like there's a ton of them. And so they're making it look like, look, Republicans don't support Trump, don't vote for him. They're trying to show these polls. They're rigging these polls, which I've talked about on my main channel. I did a video about how the media is rigging all these polls and stuff. You should go check it out. Main channel's Dylan's Daily Show. I did a video about how the media is rigging all these polls. They're doing that so that Hillary Clinton looks like she's winning. And the Republicans say, well, the election's over. I don't really like Trump. Because Trump isn't really popular with the conservatives. He's not really popular with the establishment. He's got this kind of new movement within the Republican Party that like him. So his problem is it's not very hard to convince these conservatives, convince these establishment Republicans just to stay home, right? It's not that hard. The media can just make him look rude. They can spin some quotes out of context. They can do this, they can do that. And that's really all they have to do to make Trump look like he's the bad guy. And you see that's what they have been doing. And now these people are saying they're not going to vote, which is stupid. But the thing is, they're trying to keep people home. And in a way it's working. But the LA Times just came out with a new poll, and I'm reading this off Breitbart right now, so pretty good story. Hold on 1 second. So the LA Times just came out with this new poll. I gotta open Breitbart again because my phone's being stupid. All right. Latest LA Times tracking poll. Clinton's at 44%. Not really much of a change there. Not really much of a change. It's been the same for a while. But Trump is at 43.4%. Now, Donald Trump is having a lot of trouble getting over that kind of 45 to 40% range in these polls because, and a lot of people were saying this during the primaries, and they were absolutely right. Donald Trump has kind of a plateau. All candidates have their plateau, their likability plateau, the amount of people that are going to support them. It's hard to overpass that plateau unless you're really, really good at campaigning. Donald Trump is somewhere between 40 and 45%. That is his plateau. He's having a lot of trouble getting over that. Now, Hillary Clinton is a little bit higher than him on average. Her plateau is 45 to 50%. What Donald Trump has to do and what the Trump campaign should focus on, this is just my opinion. This is something they could do. Obviously not going to watch this. I'm not just sitting here saying they watch. But what I think they could do is, at some point you have to try to take her down instead of trying to build yourself up. Like, you just kind of have to embrace that you're not that liked. Donald Trump needs to embrace that he's not that liked. He needs to embrace that he's not that likable of a person. And what he needs to start doing is trying to bring Hillary Clinton down below him. He needs to get some of those people that are maybe on the fence leaning Clinton to come over to Trump. You can't do that by going out and pretending like you're nice so you can be liked. You have to bring her down. That's what he has to do. And he's so good at doing that too. That's what irritates me is Donald Trump is a genius, is a master at bringing people down. He did it during the primaries the whole time. Why can't he just start now? Why can't he just bring Hillary Clinton down? But so this LA Times poll comes out. 43.4% for Trump, 44% for Clinton. I mean, this race is getting close, ladies and gentlemen. And it was 2,500 people took it. So that's a pretty large group. And I don't know the statistics on, what percentage Republicans were sampled versus what percentage of Democrats. A lot of times with these polls, what you see is that they'll oversample Democrats to make the Hillary Clinton look like she's doing better. They call more Democrats. I don't know about the statistics on this one since they haven't really been released yet. But I tried to look for them. I just couldn't find them yet. But I'll definitely get those to you at some point if it's still relevant at, tomorrow or whatever. But yeah, so that's a pretty close race. I mean, Donald Trump, all he really has to do, again, is just bring Hillary Clinton down, and that will propel him to victory. Trying to propel him past his plateau isn't going to work. You have to bring her down because there's not very many people that Donald Trump is going to convince 86 days out of the election. What, 86 days? 85? I don't even... 80-something days until the election. He's not really going to start convincing people to get on his side. He needs to start trying to lower Hillary Clinton or just get people not to vote for her so that he can win. All right, so I know we were just talking about polls, and the last thing you guys want to hear is more poll talk, but I just want to say this. So Rasmussen thinks that this election is a 2-point race. So according to them, this election is way, way, way closer than the media will tell you it is. I'm on their site right now. White House watch, Clinton 41%, Trump 39%, Johnson 9%, Stein 3%. And I love the polls where they include Johnson and Stein. I don't like when they take them out at all because then you're forced to make a decision, where a lot of these people, they're going to be voting for Johnson, Stein, but if you take them out, they may go over to Hillary Clinton, whatever. But anyway, so, which, trust me, there are libertarians that are that stupid. There's a libertarian that I was talking to the other day. I'm not going to say names, but they legitimately said they would vote for Hillary Clinton over Donald Trump. I'm like, what the hell? Or no, Jill Stein, I'm sorry, over Donald Trump. Like, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. Why would you? But anyway, so let's move on with this story here. I'm just going to kind of read this. The race between Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton continues to tighten as it moves further from the conventions, but both candidates are still struggling to close the deal. The latest Rasmussen Reports National Telephone and Online White House Watch survey of likely U.S. voters shows Clinton with 41% to Trump's 39%. Then we have, obviously, the Libertarian candidate and everything like that. Obviously, Trump had been losing ground for like a really, really long time, and that's what they cover in this thing. But now it seems as if he's starting to kind of turn things around, or Clinton's starting to sink. Either way, this looks really good for Donald Trump. Now, he switched up his staff yesterday, which was a big move. He got that new campaign manager in there, hired the guy from Breitbart, and a lot of controversy from that because Trump's had to cycle his campaign around a lot. But this is good. I'm really happy that we're starting to see Donald Trump actually make some changes in his campaign because I'm really sick and tired of that, like Donald Trump has a sense of humor that's funny, but a lot of the time it's really easy to take what he says out of context. You say something about it's much easier to get the Purple Heart this way. That veteran came up, gave him the Purple Heart, and the media is like, Donald Trump makes fun of veteran with Purple Heart. It's just his sense of humor is really easy to make fun of. So the best thing for Donald Trump is just to not right? Just don't until you're president, then you can, but don't while you're running. But yeah, I mean, that's big that Rasmussen is saying it's a 2-point race. That LA Times poll, it seems that's 2 polls now. We're going to have to keep watching the polls for the next couple of days. I'll definitely talk about those here on the show. But I mean, Donald Trump looks like he may be closing the gap here, or Hillary Clinton's losing the gap she had. But either way, this is good. And if he continues to close it, then these debates could make a difference. If it's over, but like I said, don't trust the polls though. Don't trust all the polls. The election is a lot closer than you think it is. Obviously, sounds pretty hypocritical because I'm sitting here talking about polls. But those polls that show a 10-point lead from Hillary Clinton, BS. Total BS. I've never seen so much BS in my life. Those are complete bogus polls. But we'll get to those in another show. And also, we'll continue to cover other polls and other shows as well. Just kind of keep you guys updated on the state of the race. But for now, we're just going to move on with other stuff, including this flooding going on in Louisiana. Because this is horrible, right? There was that flooding going on in Louisiana, and it kind of is funny because there was a lot of criticism towards George W. Bush when Hurricane Katrina hit. They said that his response wasn't good enough. Do you remember that? And he got a lot of criticism from both sides of the aisle. Both sides. They were both saying that, George W. Bush didn't respond well enough, blah, blah, blah. Especially the Democrats. Now, it's funny because... Now, wait, before I even get into that, let me just say, I understand that when there's a natural disaster in an area, for a president to visit that area, sometimes it's a huge hassle. It does more harm than good because they have to get all that security together. They have to make sure that the area the president's going to be going is safe, secure, and everything like that. And it kind of takes away from what the first responders can do in the area. So a president a president responding in the middle of a natural disaster isn't necessarily a good thing. But the floodwaters are receding in Louisiana. Let me just say that first. Floodwaters receding. Okay, so the floodwaters are not as bad as they were before. They're receding. They're getting better. I think now it's time for President Obama to go visit Louisiana because the Democrats were so quick to criticize George W. Bush when George W. Bush didn't have the proper response to Katrina, even though he had the National Guard lined up. Remember, the governor of Louisiana would not let the National Guard in. They wouldn't let it happen. This is a fact. You can look it up, ladies and gentlemen. And by the way, that governor, who was governor at the time, got charged like criminally. So that person's an idiot. But George W. Bush had the National Guard lined up around Louisiana, ready to go. It might have been the mayor. I'm not sure if it was the governor of Louisiana or the mayor of New Orleans. I can't remember. That's my fault. But anyway, it was either one of those two. You can look it up. But he had them ready to go, but the mayor or the governor did not give the thumbs up. Just said no. So part of George Bush's bad response to the situation has a lot to do with the fact that he had the resources ready to go. They just would not allow him to go. They wouldn't let him do it. So Obama is vacationing in Martha's Vineyard. We're going to go play some golf in Martha's Vineyard. Now, of course, the president deserves a vacation. I'm not sitting here saying the president doesn't deserve to go on vacation. I mean, the guy's got the hardest job in the world, right? Being a world leader, being a leader of a country, regardless if you agree with Obama or not, if you think he's doing a good job, he's got a very, very tough job. I would never take the president. I would never want to run for president. I feel like if I say that and then I do one day, but I would never run, right? Because it's just being president is such a stressful job. Like, imagine Donald Trump right now. He's making billions with his business, right? No, Dylan, Donald Trump isn't a billionaire. You're a liar. He's a liar. Okay, shut up. I'm imitating a liberal there, if you couldn't tell. But anyway, Trump is over there making billions, got a great company, got great kids, great family life, spending time at home, living in a penthouse in New York City. And then he decides, hey, I'm just going to run for president. I'm not going to take a salary either. I'm just going to run, not take a salary, be the leader of the free world. No big deal. No big deal. So he's, can you imagine that decision? I mean, that's just, he's literally going from a dream life to the most stressful job on the planet. It's ridiculous. But anyway, so Obama is vacationing in Martha's Vineyard, which is fine. You can take your vacation, Mr. President. I'm not saying you can't take your vacation. I'm not criticizing you. But the floods are receding. The waters are receding. It's getting better. It's time for you to visit Louisiana, Mr. President. I'm not going to spend a lot of time talking about this, but I really do believe that Obama, if he was so quick to criticize Bush, and a lot of Democrats were so quick to criticize Bush, they're silent when it comes to Obama. Of course, they're just completely silent. You don't hear one Democrat coming out, speaking out against the fact that Obama still has yet to visit Louisiana. Still has yet. So what are they going to say? Well, Bush was just because he was Republican. That's literally the reason. It's because Bush was a Republican. And there were a lot of Republicans, even in 2005, when they criticized Bush on his response. So just, I'm not going to talk about this for the whole show because there's really nothing to add to this, right? I mean, it's just, what do you want me to say? Oh, yeah, blah, blah. But anyway, but yeah, I think he should go. I mean, and the vacations are getting kind of ridiculous. I mean, especially when they're taking 2 planes back because Michelle Obama wants to stay an extra day, more taxpayer dollars. He should be going to Louisiana. You can take another vacation, Mr. President. You're almost done anyway. I mean, come on, right? Like, you're legitimately almost done. But it's his thing. And I'm just giving my opinion on this. I think that he should go visit Louisiana. I think it's time to go visit, but I'm going to stay out of all the crappy, finger pointing, blah, 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 blah. And I'm not going to criticize him on that because that's kind of a stupid thing to criticize somebody on. You didn't go to see a flood quick enough, because I still haven't been there in reality. Like, you know what I mean? If I was going there, and it would be okay for me to criticize if I was actually going to Louisiana and trying to help, and I was like, well, where's the president? But I'm not. I'm sitting in my house recording a podcast to post on the internet, criticizing it. Yeah, it's just, yeah, you get the point. All right, so there's pretty solid evidence now that the government is trying to censor what you can look at and read on the internet. Stories like this, I think, are very important, and I think they often get overlooked. You're not going to hear what I'm about to share with you guys in the media. I'm reading this on the Washington Examiner. All right. You're not going to hear this on CNN. You're not going to hear this on MSNBC. You're not going to hear this on NBC. You're not going to hear this on any of those stations. The only possible place you'll hear it is maybe Fox News, but even they'll report it late. I'm reporting this right now, and this is huge, ladies and gentlemen. This is something that a lot of people, this is something Ted Cruz is speaking out, a bunch of other conservative congressmen, senators, speaking out on this. because this is a problem, ladies and gentlemen. What I am about to share with you guys, something that I think is maybe the biggest story of the week. I mean, this is not good. So basically, I'm on the Washington Examiner. America to hand off internet in under 2 months. America to hand off internet in under 2 months. That's the title of this, okay? So hand off internet. Now, you're already thinking this is bogus, right? You're already thinking this is complete crap. But it's not at all in any way, shape, or form. I'm going to try to read this. It's kind of confusing what they're doing with this, so I'm going to try to kind of take it, break it down for you guys so you guys can understand what's going on with this. But it's horrible. So the Department of Commerce, I'm just reading from their page. I'm just going to kind of explain to you guys as I go. The Department of Commerce is set to hand off the final of the rest of the American control over the internet to international authorities in less than 2 months. Officials have confirmed this. All right, this is happening on October 1st. The department will finalize the transition, and it'll be effective on October 1st. So the Department of Commerce is handing off the final vestiges, is what they say on this website. I hope I'm pronouncing that word correctly, of American control over the internet to international authorities in less than 2 months. Now, this is going to happen. Assistant Secretary Lawrence Strickling said this is going to happen unless there's any significant change or something gets in the way. Then this might not. But regardless of anything getting in the way, this is happening. Now, the move means that the Internet Assigned Numbers Authority, which is responsible for interpreting numerical addresses on the web to a readable language, will move from U.S. control to the Internet Corporation for Assigned Names and Numbers, which is a multi-stakeholder body based in Los Angeles, California, that includes countries such as China and Russia. Now, whoa. Let's just stop there for a moment, ladies and gentlemen. When you hear internet, and then you hear China and Russia, what's the first thing that comes to your mind? Censorship, right? That's the first thing that comes to your mind. Now, I'm not one for conspiracy theories. I'm not one to come on here and yell into my mic about something stupid that I have no proof of, something that, hardly you'd have to tie these stupid connections together to make it happen in real life, but I'm just going to yell and pretend like it is so I can get views. I'm not like that at all, ladies and gentlemen. But when I hear that we're handing off our control of the internet to a company that has that China and Russia do work. They censor their internet so badly. In China, they censor what you can look up. There's no Google in China. Russia censors. I mean, if you can get murdered in these countries for looking something up or writing something that goes against your government. It's not as bad as it used to be, but it's still pretty bad. I mean, we just had that story, I think it was during the year sometime, earlier in the year, where Putin killed all those journalists. Murdered a bunch of journalists. Well, he didn't actually do it himself, obviously. He's not an idiot, but murdered a bunch of journalists who were just trying to speak out against the government. There's no freedom in these countries. Absolutely no freedom in these countries. And now we're handing off our internet to a company that does business with them. And it's not just business like banking. This is business like they're in the internet business with China and with Russia. So this is freaky, ladies and gentlemen. I don't think I'm being unrealistic here. I think this is a legitimate fear, and I think you should be legitimately worried about this. Not to the point of like go and, riot outside of the White House, but I'm just, there's just keep your eyes open. That's just the whole thing I'm stressing. We're not done reading this, but I'm just saying, keep your eyes open. Stay alert. Remain alert, I should say. Sounds more intelligent when I say it that way. Remain alert. You need to know what's going on, ladies and gentlemen. And that's the whole point of this show. The whole point of this show is, and I've tried to do this since I started YouTube. I really started grinding on YouTube last year on my main account, Dylan's Daily Show. And I just hit 4,000 subs yesterday. Great feeling. I know that doesn't seem that much, but I mean, I've been working really hard on it, and it's a great feeling. But anyway, my whole purpose is to inform in an entertaining way. Right? I want to inform you guys of what's going on around the world, what's going on in politics, everything like that in an entertaining way, because I'm really against the whole concept of low information voters. I get it that these people who don't know anything go out and vote. I can't stop that, and you can't stop that. Nobody can stop that, but we don't want that happening, because then those are the type of people, the low information voters, the type of people that go out and they're like, oh, look, Hillary Clinton. Yeah, she's a woman. We haven't had a woman president, have we? No. Okay, let's check. Right? Those are the low information voters. We don't want that. We want people to actually know what's going on. But you can't just sit here and just Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to tell you about, it has to be entertaining. You guys have to want to listen to this. And I'm going to get video on this podcast soon. I think either the next episode tomorrow or the one after that. I'm going to be working on video, which I don't want to do because I like kind of just chilling when I'm doing this. But I guess, video is more entertaining, especially when putting it on YouTube. But I'm going to try to get video. And I want this to be entertaining. But anyway, let's get back to this story because I'm just digressing so bad right now. So October 1st, this is happening, unless there's a big improvement. Now, Ted Cruz has pointed out criticism against this. I'm glad he's speaking out against this. Mike Lee of Utah, James Lankford of Oklahoma, who are both Republican senators, both more conservative, they're all speaking out about this. Ted Cruz has the same concerns I have. He shares the same concerns that I share, where he's worried that the agency could be used by totalitarian governments to shut down the web around the globe. Now, here's my biggest fear. And I'm not the believer in the whole one world government BS, but I am strongly against globalism, and which, by the way, is different than the one world government. Globalism is basically all governments working together and just everything kind of just globalization, right? And now I'm not against it if it's in a positive way, but if you're doing it in a negative way, which I'm going to explain right now, that's what I'm against. So I don't want these government leaders getting together, planning I'm going to plan some under the ground, like government plan, some under the ground thing, and then deciding that they don't want the people of these countries to know about this. So we're going to censor it on the internet. And since we've all handed over our internet safety to this stupid corporation, now these governments can decide what we see. It's no longer up to the American government what we see. No longer. On October 1st, that's gone, ladies and gentlemen. This is on to another government. They're going to be deciding. China and Russia now have a legitimate say. Now, I'm not saying that's confirmed. I'm saying there's a huge chance that they will impact what you can read on the internet. I mean, look, this is frightening, ladies and gentlemen. And here's the worst part. President Obama wants this done before he leaves office. That's why he's rushing this out in October. Theoretically, this should take long. They should, take a longer time. They should plan all this out, get everything, make sure everything's good to go before they do this. But Obama doesn't want to wait. He wants to make sure this gets out before he leaves office because he knows that if Donald Trump wins, which is very likely, get the whole Brexit vote, a lot of people are against this globalization crap. A lot of people are against this crap. And this is the type of stuff, by the way, that's going to happen if Hillary Clinton wins. If Hillary Clinton wins the presidency in 2016, this is the type of crap that you're going to be seeing in Washington. This is it. This bogus, non-America first, put everybody else in the freaking world first kind of crap that you see all the time. This is what you're going to start to see. Hillary Clinton doesn't care about the American people. She does business with Saudi Arabia, then runs for president based on, I love women, I love gays. Are you kidding me? Why are you doing business with Saudi Arabia when they throw gays off rooftops and stone women? Yeah, that's not very pro-woman, but I do business with them anyway because I like to make money. Yeah, sure. So this is a legitimate thing. Obama wants this done before he leaves office. He wants this to happen before he leaves office because he's afraid Donald Trump's going to take office and none of this is going to happen. He's legitimately afraid of that. So he wants this done. Now, Ted Cruz wrote an open letter, and I'm going to read some of that here. Quote, the proposal will significantly increase the power of foreign governments over the internet, expand ICANN's historical core mission, which is the abbreviation, obviously, by creating a gateway to content regulation and its leadership to act without any real accountability. This isn't good. In the event any facilities are relocated to China, the senators noted, they could go into the same building as the agency responsible for censoring that country's internet. Quote, we have uncovered that ICANN's Beijing office is actually located within the same building as the Cyberspace Administration of China, which is the central agency within the Chinese government censorship regime. And this is what they wrote in the thing. So this is showing a willingness to work with the Chinese and basically listen to the Chinese and follow what the Chinese want. So this ICANN building, the ICANN thing is in the same building that they're censoring what the Chinese people can read. This is in Beijing. They're working side by side with the Chinese government in Beijing. And this is really, and we're handing over our internet to them. Yeah, that's smart, ladies and gentlemen. That's smart. We just make the best decisions as a country, don't we? We really put our citizens first. That's they talk about the downfall of a country. That's the downfall of a country, right there. There's just so much that goes into this. But one of the biggest things that is going to be the downfall, if this country falls, I'm not saying it's going to. I think that America's a very strong country. I think it will prevail. I think the American people, I hope, right? I can't say they will, but I hope that they wake up at some point. But if we fall as a country, and I don't want to freak anybody out, I don't think we're going to, I'm just saying as an example. If we are to fall, it's going to be because the government of this country stopped caring about the people and what was best for the people of this country. And they started doing what was best for them and what got them votes and what was best for other countries and what was best for our influence around the world. So we could stay intervening in every single situation. Someone pulls out a gun from their backpack, we got to go intervene in the Middle East. Kind of crap. Take the oil, right? I'm not trying to criticize any neocons. I'm just making a joke. But I mean, we seriously need to start putting our people first. This whole welfare state, that's another thing. People say the downfall of a country is the welfare state, free handouts, government can't afford it. That's true. And that's also acting not in the best interest of the people. That's legitimately giving people free stuff for votes. That's all welfare is. Hey, you want this free thing? Okay, vote for me so you can keep having it. My opponent won't give it to you. That's what welfare is. Welfare isn't some generous handout that the government's giving you. Welfare isn't the government's way of helping you. Welfare is vote for me and I'll give you free stuff. And that's what it's always been. So I just wanted to share this story with you guys today because I think that it's very concerning. Very concerning what's going on. And I just want to alert you guys to what's going on. And that's why I do this, ladies and gentlemen. So leave a like on this video if you enjoyed it. If you don't like. I upload every day podcasts, so make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any more. At 2 o'clock p.m. Central Time, I don't know, I'm uploading this right after I do this. I don't know if this is going to be up before or after 2 p.m. Central Time. I've got an awesome video up on my main channel. It's a Hillary Clinton donation prank. We prank called this other big YouTuber. He's got like 17,000 subs. And we told him that he donated $50 to the Hillary Clinton campaign and all this stuff, and that we were just calling to confirm it, and he was freaking out. That's up on my main channel. So make sure you check that out as well, ladies and gentlemen. Dylan's Daily Show's the channel. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in to the program today. I will catch up with you guys later. Bye-bye.